Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. As we journey through our fabulous 50s and beyond, it sometimes feels like our bodies have a mind of their own, doesn't it? Are you tired of that stubborn belly fat that just won't budge? No matter how many salads you eat or how many times you've sworn off dessert? Or maybe you're noticing that your energy levels just aren't what they used to be, and the thought of another restrictive diet just makes you want to sigh. It can be incredibly frustrating, can't it? We're told that slowing metabolism and weight gain are just part of getting older. But I couldn't help but wonder, is that really the whole story? For so long, I felt like I was fighting a losing battle with the scales. I tried calorie counting until I was blue in the face, dabbled in low carb, high carb, you name it. And while some things worked for a little while, nothing seemed sustainable. And frankly, some of it just left me feeling deprived and grumpy. This whole weight management thing, especially as we age, can feel like an unsolvable puzzle. It's not just about fitting into our favorite jeans, is it? It's about our energy, our confidence, and importantly, our long-term health. I started to see how carrying extra weight was impacting my joints, my sleep, and even my mood. It's a widespread concern. I was reading some general health reports, and it seems a significant number of folks over 50 are actively trying to manage their weight, or have been advised to by their doctors. We're definitely not alone in this. The underlying causes are complex, of course. Our metabolism naturally slows down a bit. Hormonal changes play a role, especially for us ladies, and years of ingrained eating habits can be tough to break. It's not just about vanity. This extra weight can contribute to a higher risk of things like type 2 diabetes, heart concerns, and even affect our mobility and overall zest for life. Sometimes it feels like there are so many different pieces to this puzzle. Is it just about what we eat? Or when we eat? Or how much we move? Then I started hearing whispers, then louder chatter about something called intermittent fasting. At first I was skeptical. Fasting? Isn't that just starving yourself? I thought. But the more I dug into it, the more I realized it wasn't about deprivation, but about when you eat. And I wondered, could this be the missing piece I'd been searching for? Could intermittent fasting really work for weight loss, especially for us? So I did what I always do. I dived headfirst into the research. I wanted to understand it inside and out. And today, I want to share with you everything I've learned about intermittent fasting for beginners, specifically looking at whether it truly helps with weight loss as we get older. We're going to break it down, look at the science in simple terms, I promise, and explore how it might fit into our lives. Now, what exactly is intermittent fasting, or EF, as it's often called? Essentially, it's an eating pattern that cycles between periods of eating and voluntary fasting. It's not so much about what foods you eat, though that's still incredibly important, of course, but rather when you eat them. There are several different methods, and that's one of the things I found so appealing: its flexibility. There's the 168 method, where you fast for 16 hours a day and eat during an 8-hour window. This is probably the most popular, and the one I found easiest to adapt to. Then there's the 52 diet, where you eat normally for 5 days a week and restrict calories significantly on 2 non-consecutive days. There are even more extended fasts, like 24-hour fasts once or twice a week. The key is finding a pattern that works for your lifestyle and your body. After spending hours reading studies, I was amazed to find that the National Institutes of Health, NIH, has actually funded quite a bit of research into intermittent fasting. What I found particularly compelling is how IF seems to work for weight loss. When you fast, your body doesn't have a constant supply of glucose from food, so it has to turn to its stored fat for energy. It's like flipping a metabolic switch. Apparently, a groundbreaking study I read about, which I believe was referenced by researchers at Johns Hopkins, suggested that this switch can lead to significant fat loss over time. But the benefits I discovered go way beyond just shedding pounds. Many studies, including some I saw mentioned in publications from Harvard Medical School, point to improved insulin sensitivity. This is huge, especially as we age, because better insulin sensitivity can help reduce the risk of type 2 diabetes. I also came across research, often cited by places like the Mayo Clinic, indicating potential benefits for heart health, like improvements in blood pressure and cholesterol levels. And it doesn't stop there. Some researchers are even exploring links between intermittent fasting and brain health, with some preliminary findings suggesting it might support cognitive function. For me, one of the most noticeable things, beyond the numbers on the scale, was a surprising increase in my energy levels and mental clarity. It was like a fog had lifted. Now, this is really important, and something I learned the hard way initially. To make intermittent fasting work for you, and not against you, you need to be mindful of what you're eating during your eating window, and also what you're consuming, or rather not consuming, that could break your fast or hinder its benefits. Through my research, I learned that you should absolutely avoid certain things. With intermittent fasting, if you want to see real results, first on my must-never combine list is breaking your fast with a huge meal packed with refined carbs and sugar. I discovered you must never combine the end of your fast with a donut or a massive plate of pasta if you want to avoid a blood sugar roller coaster and undo all your good work. When you reintroduce food, your body is primed to absorb nutrients, but also to store excess very efficiently if you give it the wrong stuff. This can lead to energy crashes and actually make you feel hungrier later. I read an article, I think. It was from a nutritionist associated with the American Heart Association, who explained that this kind of refeeding can spike insulin dramatically. Another big no-no I found is consuming sugary drinks, even diet ones with artificial sweeteners, during your fasting period. These can still trigger an insulin response in some people, effectively telling your body the fast is over, even if they have 0 calories. And be wary of too much processed food in your eating window. These foods are often low in nutrients and high in calories, salt, and unhealthy fats. They won't provide the sustained energy you need and can leave you feeling sluggish. I also learned to be cautious with excessive amounts of unhealthy fats right after a fast, as it can sometimes cause digestive upset for some individuals. But here's the exciting part. What I found incredibly helpful is to strategically combine intermittent fasting with these foods, because it turns out that focusing on the right combinations during your eating window can really amplify the positive effects. What I learned is to always eat nutrient-dense whole foods when you break your fast and throughout your eating window for maximum benefits. So, what are these magical combinations? Firstly, prioritize protein. Breaking your fast with a good source of lean protein, think grilled chicken, fish, eggs, tofu, or legumes is fantastic. Protein helps with satiety, so you feel fuller for longer, and it's crucial for maintaining muscle mass, which is super important as we age. I often make a simple omelet, with spinach and a sprinkle of feta cheese to break my fast. Secondly, load up on fiber-rich vegetables and healthy fats. Think big salads with olive oil dressing, steamed broccoli, avocados, nuts, and seeds. Fiber aids digestion, helps stabilize blood sugar, and keeps you satisfied. Healthy fats are essential for hormone production and nutrient absorption. Apparently, some studies I came across mentioned that combining healthy fats with your meals can improve the absorption of fat-soluble vitamins. I always try to include a handful of almonds or some avocado with my first meal. And don't forget complex carbohydrates in moderation. Things like quinoa, sweet potatoes, and oats provide sustained energy without the dramatic blood sugar spikes. Combining these with protein and healthy fats makes for a perfectly balanced meal. For instance, a piece of baked salmon with a side of roasted sweet potatoes and a green salad is a winner. And hydration is key. Drinking plenty of water throughout your fasting and eating periods is crucial. Sometimes I'll add a squeeze of lemon to my water for a little flavor. Now, especially since intermittent fasting can affect our energy cycles and overall well-being, I found that paying attention to my sleep, environment, and lifestyle habits became even more important. It's all connected. For an optimal sleep environment, I've made sure my bedroom is cool, dark, and quiet. I invested in some good blackout curtains, and I try to keep the temperature around 18-20 degrees Celsius. That's about 65-68 Fahrenheit. It really makes a difference. I also try to establish a relaxing bedtime routine. About an hour before bed, I dim the lights, put away my phone and tablet. That blue light really does mess with your sleep hormones. I've learned and maybe read a book or listened to some calming music. Regular, appropriately timed exercise has also been a game changer. I aim for a brisk walk most days, preferably in the morning to get some natural sunlight, which helps regulate your body clock. But I avoid intense exercise too close to bedtime. These little discoveries have really complemented my intermittent fasting journey and improved my overall sense of well-being. Of course, as with anything related to health, there are important precautions and things to note, especially for us. This is something I want to strongly advise you about. because it's a crucial lesson I've learned. Firstly, and most importantly, please, please, please consult with your doctor before starting intermittent fasting or any new dietary regimen for that matter. This is particularly vital if you have any pre-existing health conditions like diabetes, heart problems, or if you are taking any medications. Your doctor knows your health history and can advise if IF is safe and appropriate for you. I also learned that intermittent fasting might not be suitable for everyone. Some people may experience side effects like headaches, dizziness, or irritability, especially when starting. It's important to listen to your body. If something doesn't feel right, don't push through it without professional advice. Hydration is absolutely critical, as I mentioned, especially during fasting periods, to avoid dehydration and headaches. And remember, individual responses can vary hugely. What works wonders for one person might not be the best fit for another. It's about finding what's sustainable and healthy for you. Don't compare your journey to anyone else's. So, does intermittent fasting really work for weight loss, especially for those of us over 50? From my deep dive into the research, and cautiously, my own experience, the potential is definitely there. And it seems to offer benefits beyond just the scale. But it's not a magic bullet. It's a tool, a strategy that, when combined with mindful eating and a healthy lifestyle, can be incredibly effective. I truly hope this detailed look into intermittent fasting has been helpful and perhaps sparked some curiosity for you. Remember, knowledge is power, especially when it comes to our health. If you found this video informative, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to the channel for more insights into navigating our health and wellness journey together. Don't forget to hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on our future videos. And please, share this video with anyone you think might find it useful. Now, for our engagement question today, I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. If you've tried intermittent fasting, what has your experience been like? What tips or challenges have you encountered? Or if you're considering it, what are your biggest questions or concerns? Let's create a supportive community and learn from each other. Sharing our journeys can be so incredibly valuable. Thanks so much for watching today. Stay curious, stay healthy, and I'll see you in the next video.